Hey everybody, this is the Crazy Kirby Kid, and I'm coming at you with a video of a couple of Donkey Kong Country Return levels that I'm going to attempt to get gold on in the time attack mode. So in this first one, 6-2 Prehistoric Path, I'm going to show you sort of my first couple of runs, and you'll notice my first run is the best run, even though I have no idea what's coming up on this level. I did play this in the single player co-op with my brother, but as far as getting the perfect time attack run, I sort of forgot entirely what this level has in it. So right here, I'm just sort of seeing what's coming up and adjusting, just playing on my toes and making sure that I stay alive. Not too bad so far, just keeping my eyes open, sort of remembering things as they happen, which is I guess better than not remembering them at all. Duck for the bananas. Take the high road. Jump over that guy. I'm doing pretty well. These minecart levels aren't too bad, but this is where I make my fatal mistake. I jump a little bit too late and I miss the enemy or miss the opportunity to go beneath them. And then after that, my next run is even worse. I die way early in the level. And then after that, I have another mistake that I make. But really, I played this level about 7 times, and each time after that first run that I did that I got pretty far in, I died earlier and earlier in the level because I'm switching over from my sort of reactionary short-term playing on my feet kind of play to developing a more long-lasting strategy, and that requires storing information in my long-term memory. So here's where my best run happens. It's about 5 or 6 attempts after that first attempt I showed you, and it's pretty much easy street from the point where I died. So I really should have gotten this stage golded on my first attempt. But if you miss your first attempt, chances are you have a small or long road ahead of you in order to get gold after that. So this next level is much more difficult, and as you can see right off the bat, I'm not going to come anywhere close to even getting a gold on my first run. This is a much harder level. So I start rolling and I immediately see a pit. And my first impulse is to push as hard as I can, do a lot of roll jumps and go as far as I can, as fast as I can. But that's clearly not going to work in this level. I already died once. So here's my second attempt, knowing that there's pits. I play a little bit more cautiously. But then after a while, I just sort of give it a go, and then clearly I miss that platform. So just freestyling is not going to work for this level. So the best idea to do here is to take my time, sort of scope out the level and develop some kind of strategy as I go along based on what I see. So right there I know I need to take the high road instead of going low, and that'll keep me high enough to make the next couple of jumps. So right now I'm not too worried about pushing myself for the fastest time. I'm seeing how far I can and how well I can roll jump, all the places where I can stay high and then go low, like that for example. Not too worried about making a good time, just trying to sort of get a feel for the level. Right there I just took a wild guess. I figured the platform was coming up and I kind of get punished for it, but it's not too bad. This is just all a part of my learning process. And here, halfway going in that direction, I remembered I have to activate the barrel over there and then make my way across the stage. I miss, not too big of a deal. So I noticed that these weighted platforms are really holding me up time-wise, and I need to find ways to bypass them as much as possible in later runs. Like this one, for example. Gotta find a way to skip that. So I'm making terrible time. Sort of not even knowing where I need to go. Like right there I didn't even see the barrel until the platform already started to dip down. This part of the level is starting to become a little bit more familiar. Just riding it out and seeing what a normal time is so that I know where to push myself when attempting a goal. So after this run, which is about 3 or 4 attempts into the level, I got 2 minutes and 13 seconds, and from here I go back in and sort of try to push myself. And as you can see, the next couple of deaths occur right at the beginning of the level, and I forget again that I need to take the high road. I get a little bit farther, and then I'm just making a lot of careless errors because I'm trying to keep my eyes open while pushing myself to execute these runs as quickly as possible. Right there I did a roll jump, and I have no visual marker and I don't know how far the platform is, so I just died a couple of times there. Right there, I don't know the timing of the swing, so I'm just sort of doing additional experiments, missing jumps at the beginning again. Each time I get a little farther in the level, because of how my brain is processing the information, I make a lot more mistakes earlier on in the level. So right here I'm pretty far, but pretty soon I'm going to make more mistakes at the beginning. Here we go, right back at the beginning, and another mistake. The more confident I get because I get farther in the level, the less I focus on sort of overcoming the platforming challenges in the beginning. So as I'm developing a high-speed run of this level, my progress always goes back and forth. I get a little farther, do a little experimentation, then do poorly at the beginning and try to refine that. Get a little farther, get a little bit more confident, but then that comes back to bite me at the beginning. So I figured on this part I have to jump on the top and make some kind of daring jump, leap into the wall blue yonder, so to speak. And it's really hard to sort of figure out if I need to make it to the end platform, that barrel at the top or the barrel at the bottom. Now what I should have noticed when I was developing this technique is there are bananas that cue you in on exactly where you need to go, so there's really a lot less trial and error there than I would have first thought. So here's my best run, about 20 or 30 attempts after that last one you saw. This is me at my best. Notice how much more of the level I'm skipping and how much more confident I am of every jump. Right here I figure out ways to bypass those platforms altogether and just staying low until I need to go high right here, and then staying high and rolling down and knowing exactly where the barrel is. That's something you can only do confidently when you know exactly where the targets are that you're trying to hit. Pass 2 bananas and do a roll jump, hover, and you'll land on that exactly. Didn't mean to jump off him, that's alright. Here, because I'm a little late in time, those enemies are moving up, which gives me a clear path to get over to the left platform and then back over to the right. That was over pretty quickly. Here I know to bypass that platform altogether and to keep pushing the time. Jump off the spring, roll off the top, and then roll low. It saves me a couple of half seconds. Barely grab the grass and make it over the side. Don't get hit by those stupid rocks and roll underneath that platform. Took me a little while to develop that trick. And I could jump off that enemy to grab onto the grass in one jump, but I sort of take the easy route. And finally, use the bananas as a guide and only hover to drop into the barrel, and I can barely make this. Only had about 26 microseconds to spare. It's because I made a few mistakes, but overall the run is pretty high level, pretty clean. It took me a while to develop it. So that's a little peek into my mental process when I'm playing video games. This is Kirby Kid. See you guys next time.